Some of you may remember my last watercolor attempt. It didn't go very well. So today we're doing round 2 of teaching ourselves how to watercolor. This is what I'm going to be watercoloring. These are a couple of character concepts that I've had. I've not really done like a whole lot with these characters or anything, but I just thought it'd be really fun to put them on a page. It gives me a couple different like skin tones and color palettes to work with. We kind of have like 4 different attempts on one page here. I've got my brushes because on the first attempt I was using these, and a couple of you guys said that these are not very good. Granted, they were cheap and I'd agree they weren't great, but I did also buy these, and a couple of you guys were also saying that these look like they're a much better quality, and I haven't really used like brushes like this for a very long time, so this is all going to be very new to me. I do have a little cup of water here for the paints. It's in a little tulip cup. Isn't that so cute? It's adorable. I did line all of this in ballpoint pen, so it should be okay. There should be no running of the colors like we had last time with the ink. The ink ran quite a lot, so that shouldn't happen. If you guys know anything else that works for doing line art when it comes to coloring in, doing watercolors, let me know. I'd be interested to try it out. But for now, we're sticking with the ballpoint pen because it works. I'm really nervous. First things first, skin tones. I think I'll go with a reddy orange, and then we'll just lighten it up with a different color, of which I'm not sure what it is. I'm gonna start with like this type of brush. It's not too thick, not too thin. That's what we're starting with. I really like, you know, making characters and stuff, but I do have this issue where I'll, you know, start making a character and then I'll get an idea for another character and then I've got one too many characters for a start, but also none of them ever get fleshed out very well. This does make it a little different from what I was doing, so I feel like it's a bit of a different process from just using those other brushes where the water's already in it, so it's might take a bit of getting used to, but the brushes do feel better, so I'll take it. This looks a bit too pink, so I'm gonna add a bit more of a saturated orange to it. Oh, okay, we're getting there. I think I've spread it a bit too far though, my bad. Okay, I think that's a pretty good skin tone. I think that's a better skin tone than what I did last time though. If you remember that debacle we had. Goodness. I definitely should have started with the white because then I could have just made it a bit darker since he's pale. These are things that when you don't do painting often, these are things you don't really think about. Okay, these brushes are definitely better. They definitely feel better. It's also kind of nice because it's so thin as well, like pointed. That feels good because the last ones I had didn't really have a super thin ones. I've added a bit more water to it now, so that might help. I think it was a little dry. That helped, like kind of wiping the paint on the palette. That helped. That made it look a bit better. I did do all of these as digital pieces as well, so if they don't come out great, it's totally fine. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, that is looking a lot better than that. That one's a bit too pigmented. Yeah, I think doing it so it's like less and just spreading it around has worked a lot better. I like that a lot. Taking time. We can add more, but we can't take away. And I think that's something when you're an artist, whether new or old, something you should always keep in the back of your head. You can add, but you can't take away. So if you're ever unsure, go in light and then you can add more later on. To those who were saying that these brushes looked a lot better, you were so right. You have such an eye for this. Okay, I think already you can see the difference from this one to this one. I feel like he's a bit splodgy though. I wonder, I think it's maybe just a result of using too much pigment, however. So for his skin tone, I'm not really sure. Obviously it's gonna be darker. I don't know if you guys can see very well, but I'm using a bit of this color here. It's like a dark umber, I think. And then I'm gonna mix it with maybe a bit like a lighter orange. We just add a bit of more saturation to it. Okay, I'm just mixing a couple of colors. I mixed in a bit of an orange. I've mixed in a darker brown and then also a bit of a lighter brown because the darker brown is just very desaturated. It's a very kind of almost a gray brown, I'd say. So I think let's give it a try on the test page. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I like it. Actually, I'm gonna add a bit more water to it just to be on the safe side. You know what, I do agree that like cheap art supplies, you can start with cheap art supplies and still get good at art. Like cheap art supplies shouldn't hold you back. But you can definitely tell the difference between these and the other watercolor brushes I was using, because like I feel with this I have so much more control now. Like genuinely, I feel like when I'm moving the brush, I feel like I've got control over what I'm doing, which I didn't feel like I had before. So I'd say maybe with these two, even though they look a lot better than this one, I'd say maybe even then I've potentially, I don't know, I feel like I've potentially maybe used too much pigment, not enough water, because of the way it's sitting on the page. It looks a bit chalky. So I think I'm not using enough water, whereas I added a lot more water to this one and it looks a bit better. Although this one hasn't dried yet, so we'll see. Maybe it won't be any better. But I'm also someone who, my main medium is alcohol markers, so I'm like, is it supposed to look like this? Is that just what paint looks like? Or am I doing something wrong? I don't know. It's still going much better than last time though, so I will take it. I think what I'm gonna do though from now on, because I was doing the skin tone all at once because I thought they've got similar skin tones like these three, so I thought, well, let's just do that together. But I think from now on I'm gonna just focus on one character at a time. That makes a lot more sense to me. So we are going to start with her. So her primary colors are primarily black and purple. So I may make the black a little bit brighter, maybe add some white to it, because I don't want it to be too dark. I want it to be more of like a gray. Okay, the black so far isn't going down very well. I think maybe I'm using a bit too much pigment. It's so hard to know. Like, it really is. Definitely struggling a little bit. I think because I made this a little too pigmented, it's gonna make it a little harder when it comes to doing highlights and stuff and darkening the hair. It's gonna make it a little harder to do the highlights because it's already really dark up here. So I may have to, I'm gonna go in with a gel pen anyway because I've made a bit of a mess over there, but go in with a bit of a gel pen and we can use that to add in the highlights. I think that might be a bit of a better bet. I think I'm learning a little bit. I think I've learned I was using too much pigment. I think that was one of the issues I was having. So I've added quite a bit more water now, and I'm kind of just using it to push the paint around as well to create like as much of an even coating as I can. It doesn't really matter if this layer's too even, because this layer is the base layer. I'm gonna be adding in the black and stuff over it. Oh no, I put my hand in it. Oh dear. Oh, and then I put my hand. Oh. It's just honestly some things that I'm doing are just like little habits, like putting my hand straight on the page after I've done an area, because I do alcohol markers mostly. You really get like these little habits. It's so crazy. It's not perfect, but it's also not the worst, so I will take it. I feel like the page is crinkling though as well, so I'm like, did I use too much water? How do you know? What's the guideline here? How do you know if you've used too much water or if you're not using enough water? I don't know, honestly. So for the jumper, I didn't really mix much. I just literally kind of went in with it, but I just thought if maybe let's see if that changes anything, but it's still really streaky, so I don't know if I don't know if I'm doing it right or not. I haven't accidentally drunk the water yet though, so you know, all things considered, it could be going a lot worse. I think quickly I might watch a little tutorial on like how to get watercolor to be like the right amount. See if I can find any tips, because I feel like I'm really struggling with this. So what I just learned is you should keep things pretty light and watery to begin with. But like you should keep it pretty light to begin with, and then you should like darken it up to add in the shadows and like add more pigment and less water. So I think what we need is more water actually. I think that is what we need. I'm not really sure what to do with the skirt. I think I might just make it purple. Maybe it can be like more of a dress, because I think black, honestly, I think it's gonna be too much. If we do like a darker color again, like a black, I think it's gonna need to be something that pops a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? I literally just said I didn't want to. Okay. I just went on a complete autopilot right there. I didn't even think about what I was doing. I literally just said I didn't want to do that. I just was on autopilot. I think I started daydreaming. I don't even know what I was daydreaming about. By the way, guys, if you guys do have any tips, if any of you guys do, you know, watercolor yourself and you've got any tips for me, I'm not against receiving some tips. I want to get better at this. So if you've got any tips, tricks, things you'd like me to try, I'm definitely up for making another video, another part of this, learning a watercolor. It keeps me accountable when I do this, because otherwise, honestly, I don't know if I would. Not because I don't like doing it, but because it's just convenience, right? Like, I'm pretty decent at alcohol markers. I know how they work. I know how it functions. Like this, I've got to kind of be, I guess, in the mood, because it's not like a mindless task that I can do. But with like alcohol markers, where I just kind of like, I know the process, I've done it a million times before. Maybe not a million, but I've done it quite a lot before. I don't really need to think about it too much. Whereas like watercolor, it's a bit more of a process, so it takes a bit more out of me. I really like doing these videos. It just really helps to keep me accountable, and it's fun. It's fun to learn with you guys. So if you do have any more tips or any tricks I should try in the next one of this little series that I'm doing here, yeah, let me know, because I do want to get better at this. It's quite hard. It's so strange how you could be drawing for like, I think I've drawn for like 10 years, maybe not 10, but maybe like 8-9 years I've been drawing for, and like, it's just so crazy how endless art can be sometimes, because you're like, oh, I've learned so much doing art, and then you try to do something new, because there's so many mediums, there's so many techniques. Like, art is so endless. That's why I love it so much. Like, I don't know if I could ever get bored of art. Sorry, my camera battery just died right in the middle of that sentence, but I think I was just saying how I don't think I could ever get bored of art, because it's just so like, it's so endless. You can do so much with it. You can learn. Like, I feel like I'll never, no, even if I dedicate the rest of my life to art, I feel like I'd still learn new things. Even after like 50 years of doing art, I'd still learn something new, or I'd still be trying something new and practicing, and I'd still need to work at it. It's just, I like it a lot. Okay, so I accidentally made the skirt black, but whatever, it goes, it works. The boots are also gonna be black. Lots of black, but don't worry, the other characters will have a bit more color to them. One thing, when I was researching into watercolors and how to get better at them, like I was watching a couple tutorials just there, a couple of them did say the paper really matters, so maybe mixed media paper isn't the best for this. So perhaps next time I will look into something a little better, because honestly the page is really crinkling through this. It's getting really bad actually. Okay, let me just address this, because I feel like a couple of you guys are going to be screaming at the screen right now. I'm aware that I was using a very fine brush even for the bigger areas, and I don't know why I did that. I completely forgot that I had other size brushes literally right in front of me. They're literally right there, and I just completely forgot about them somehow. I don't even know how that's possible, but I think that would have helped me quite a lot when it comes to the patchiness, especially with the jumper. I feel like it was so patchy. I feel like it would have helped a lot more to get a bit of an even coating if I had used a bigger brush, but that didn't occur to me. So also, a voiceover Abby is a bit sick right now, so you'll have to excuse that. But one thing that did go well with this picture was that when I added a second coating and I started adding in all of the shadows and everything, I started liking it a lot more. So I think it's less of maybe things aren't going right and more of a case of, hey, just be patient with the process. Like, it's painting, it's not alcohol markers. Like, it'll probably take a bit more time to get like a nice coating and get everything looking good. So it's a different medium. It's definitely different, so I'm just trying to get used to everything, but I liked it a lot more adding the second coating in. It definitely isn't perfect, but for someone who's still very new to watercolors, I don't think it's the worst. There were a couple of areas where I was like, oh no, it's going completely wrong, it's awful, I've ruined it, and then like 10 minutes later I'd completely forget about it. So and then I went in with a highlighter pen, excuse me windows. And then I went in with a highlighter pen, and this is where it really started coming together. I added highlights to the jacket, to the hair, and oh my gosh, it just added so much depth. It was so nice. I also went in with the Bic pen and I outlined everything for a second time. It just helped the picture to look crisp, and I really like it. I think especially with the darker areas like the jacket and the hair, it really defined the lines and added depth to it. It was a game changer. So again, it's just another thing of, I guess, getting used to the process. It's not like alcohol markers at all, because I mean, I'd never have to redo the line art on alcohol markers, but this is watercolor, so it's something to get used to. But I honestly, I'm loving the process. It's so fun. I like the art of painting, you know. It feels fancy. So anyway, I ended up really liking it in the end, so I was pretty happy with that. Okay, I think Overall, the paint job could have been a little bit better, but I think lining it and adding in the highlights really changed it for me. I think it looks a lot better now. It looks a lot cleaner as well, which is why I like going in with the Bic pen and just kind of outlining everything again. It just honestly, it makes such a difference, especially with the hair. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I think it's not the worst for like a third attempt-ish at like watercolor, so I'll take it. I'm gonna move on to these three now. It shouldn't take as long as she did, but let's take what we've learned from doing her and let's apply it to these three.
I feel like doing these three characters, it made me realize that maybe I should have started with them and then go on to the bigger piece. I don't know why I did it the other way around. I think I was just excited to color her in, so I did her first, but I think it would have made more sense to do it the other way around because they're kind of smaller paintings, they're kind of smaller portions, so it wasn't as hard to do, but I learned a lot from painting her first and I was able to apply it to these characters, and the one I'm doing currently is my favorite. I love how this looks. I love how it turned out. I kind of did like a different way of doing the shadows and stuff as well, because he had lighter hair. It was easier to do than it was with doing like her black hair. And I think I was getting the hang of realizing when I was using too much pigment and when I was using too much water, and I was kind of getting used to correcting it. So when I added too much pigment to his cheeks, I added a little water in and spread it around, and it really helped to fix it. I do think the colors are a little dull in some areas, but I think that could maybe be fixed again with just practice in time. I think I was darkening some colors a little too much when I shouldn't have been, so that might have been a little bit of an issue as well, but I think he still turned out the best of all the three of them. I think doing 4 different characters was so helpful because I was able to, one, fill the page, which if you guys have been here for the past month or so, that's kind of my current goal, is to like fill every page that I do, because I haven't done that in previous sketchbooks. So it helped me to fill the page out, but it also helped me practice with a lot of different colors and skin tones even. Well, maybe not a lot of different skin tones, but a different skin tone, and helped me with the colors. And yeah, it definitely, if I had just done 1 or 2 characters, I think I maybe wouldn't have learned a lot. This was a really solid idea, and honestly, I really want to draw my characters more, so this was kind of a good excuse to draw them again and get them on the page and put them in my sketchbook, because I feel like I'm more likely to remember them if they're in a physical sketchbook, because I tend to go back and flick through my sketchbooks. Even if I'm currently doing them, I flick back through them so regularly just because I'm curious, just because I like to see the progress that I'm making. So yeah, putting them in here will remind me that they exist and that I should definitely be doing stuff with them. This guy that I'm currently doing doesn't have a name. I'd never really written about him before. I just liked his character design. It came out really well as well, I think. I like how he turned out. I think he looks really cool. The jacket, again, is a little darker than what I would have liked. But maybe I just need to get used to, like, maybe I could have added like a yellow in there or an orange and made it a much more saturated red, but I didn't, and that's something I'm gonna have to start getting used to, is mixing paints. It's a learning process. And then the third guy that I did, I think the colors were like very dull on him. I gave him a brown jacket and I think I kind of washed him out a little bit, so he didn't turn out great, but I still enjoyed doing it.
You know what very stupidly only just occurred to me like right this second, and some of you may have been screaming this at the screen as well, when I was trying to do bigger areas like the hair, and I was like, oh man, it's so hard to get an even coating. Why was I using the smallest brush that I have? Why didn't I think, like, they're right in front of me, but I just didn't even think about it. Why didn't I think to pick up, I don't know, maybe this brush that's bigger and would have made like a nice even coating down. Oh my god, why did I do that? I think I did this last time as well. I think it's just because, again, I'm not really used to painting, so having to think of like pick up a different brush just doesn't occur to me, I guess. But I did this last time, I think, where I was only really using like 1 or 2 of these brushes, and I was like, why am I using the smallest brush for like the biggest part? I can't remember, but that probably would have solved half my issues when doing this one, because it would have made like a nice even coating down the jumper and the skirt and stuff. So I don't know why I did that. Well, we know for next time, that's the main thing.
And then the last thing that I did after having my little realization there, wish I'd had that realization a bit earlier in the process, but it's fine. We'll remember for next time. I went in with the highlighter pen and the Bic pen, and I just made the lines look super crisp and nice, and I think that really solidifies the whole process for me. I love how it looks. I actually really like the one on the bottom. I love his blonde hair. I like how I did the highlights before adding the gel pen in. It looked really good actually, and I think I'm getting used to adding like the depth and the shadows and understanding that and how to do that. So, you know, it's coming together. I'm getting there. But I honestly really like this spread. It's the second spread in my sketchbook, my new sketchbook, and I was a little worried it wouldn't come out very good. I kind of took a risk. I know it doesn't really matter because it's just a page in a sketchbook. Like, there's gonna be many more pages in the sketchbook to come, but I was like, oh, it's only the second page, though I don't want to like completely ruin it. And I still took a gamble and I still decided to do it, but I think it was worth it because I really like it. I think it turned out so good, considering my current skill level. Anyway, I can definitely get better, I can definitely improve, but I'm also happy with how it came out. I think I'm learning a lot and that makes me very, very happy. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm really happy with it actually. I didn't expect it to come out the way it did. I think some of the colors are still a bit desaturated, but that's my fault because I was panicking a little bit. All in all, I think this went like as well as it could have, especially with all the hiccups that happened. I learned a lot. There's still a lot to learn obviously, so if you guys want more of these videos, please subscribe, let me know down below, and I will make more videos on learning to watercolor. And I did ask for gouache paints for Christmas, so maybe we can even learn how to do some gouache paints at some point. That'd be pretty cool. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks good? If you have any tips, don't forget to let me know down below because I would be very interested in that. I do want to get better. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, then again, please subscribe to follow me along on my art journey and let's grow together as artists. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!